Hey everybody, welcome to the channel of 100% opinion, 0% facts. Many people quit walking the Camino. Oh shit, muddy. Why is that? Let's find out what I think about it. Pretty windy today. Shitty weather. I hope it works anyways. Now I don't know how it's about you, but 2 weeks until Christmas. People say the most wonderful time of the year. I don't feel that. You know, I work in finance, and the weeks before Christmas until end of the year is a mess. People are cleaning their desks, what they didn't do for a year. And when people clean their desks, means work for me. Now everybody's rubbing his ass under the Christmas tree, and I'm doing overtime. That's the way it is. And kind of stressful. Last week, yeah, I think it was last week, I was on a training, Frankfurt for 2 days. On Friday, we had a Christmas party. And next week, I'm going to Poland for 4 days to meet my Camino buddy from 2015, Marco. Amazing, I'm excited. Was that the topic? No. Now, people always say Camino splits in 3 parts. The physical part, the mental part, and the spiritual part. Now, I don't want to talk about the physical part because, as I always say, I don't think it's possible to train physically for the Camino. Learn to walk, get used to your gear. That's it. In fact, this year, I, let's say, didn't train at all. I've been to the woods 2 or 3 times. That's it. I smoke, I drink, I eat as much and whatever I want. And this year, I had the least physical issues than all of my 7 Caminos. Was amazing. So I think physical part is not a topic. Now, attention, this is my own opinion. What physical issue can occur that makes you quit your Camino? You're losing a leg? You're breaking your neck? What else? I don't know, man. Maybe like the Japanese guy in 2015 who slipped in the shower at the albergue in Zubiri and broke his hip. That's a reason. Everything else, in my opinion, let it be blisters, tendinitis, whatever, is an excuse, not a reason. Hate me. The biggest problem, if you're new to Camino business and you don't know what you're doing, the biggest problem on the Camino is dealing with yourself. Not many people can do that. Now, I once read a statistic that said of the people who register in Saint-Jean to walk the French way, only 60% of them arrive at Santiago. Of course, you know, might say, Not everybody get registered at the pilgrim's office at Santiago, and many people do not have the intention to walk the entire way. But I think it's a huge number anyway. I've met many pilgrims who quit the Camino. You know, they wanted to go to Santiago. And then after some days at the next bigger city, let's say Pamplona or Burgos, whatever, they hopped on the bus to the airport. And then for the next 2 or 3 weeks, we're going to the beach. Physically healthy people, by the way. And of course, there are people who are living, let's say, a crappy life. I don't know. You name it, abusive partner, toxic workplace, divorce, whatever. And they want to leave it all behind and want to walk the Camino 4 or 5 weeks out of everything, cleaning your mind. Forget about it. That doesn't work. Now let's face it. Apart from the amazing, loving community, you know, in the albergues, the bars, the cafes, major part of the Camino, you're on your own. You walk alone for hours, every day, for weeks. That's much more difficult than you might expect. Now, of course, this wouldn't happen if you start your Camino with one person and you walk the entire trip with that person and you end the Camino with that person. But then you encounter completely different problems. Well, that's something for another video. Now, the first week or first 10 days, it's not big of a deal because you struggle with your body and pain every day. But once you get used to it, and you will get used to it, your mind wakes up and says, hey buddy, we gotta talk. You know, you have to understand that walking for hours with nothing to do, believe me, every single little shitty memory that you didn't work on will pop up and saying, hello, remember me? And it will make you sad, will make you feel helpless, will make you cry many times, no matter what gender or what age. But don't be scared. In my opinion, that's the most important part of the Camino. And people always say Camino is a travel to your inner self. And you will understand it yourself. But there's many people who don't see this as a gift, but more as a burden. And at one point they say, I can't do that anymore. I don't want that anymore. I want to go back into the matrix and go on living my meaningless, dumb life. Easy, no problems at all. Just being part of the machine. You know, I always say, let the Camino happen to you. And yeah, if you made it to Santiago and the Camino happened to you, you will then find out what I mean by that. First of all, in my opinion, you can be a much more valuable part for the society. And yeah, one day you'll be back. Maybe not next year or in 10 years or in 2 years, maybe 3 or 4 years. But you'll be back because you understood what the Camino did to you. You know, there's a reason why many people break down when they arrive at Praça Obradoiro. It's not because they're physically exhausted. It's because in this moment they understand what they achieved for themselves. And I think if you start walking the Camino as a good person, you arrive at Santiago as an even better person. This being said, what do you think? Anyway, next week, Poland. Maybe I can talk Marco into an interview. Will be in English, but anyway. So far, stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned, and buon camino.